Okay, so today we will discuss the 2023 paper. Okay. First, try to solve question number 1. Question number 1. What is the weight for the stretching of the string? W. Area of cross section A. So what you have to calculate? You have to calculate the longitudinal stress. Longitudinal stress means force by area. So force due to stretching is W. So the answer is W by A. Second one, the ratio of radius of gyration of a solid sphere of mass m and radius r about its own axis to the radius of gyration of a hollow sphere of mass m and radius of gyration. Radius of gyration can be calculated from this. If it is written as k, then it is equal to root over of I by m, where m is the mass of the object. Root over of I by m. So for the solid sphere and for hollow sphere, moment of inertia will be different. Then accordingly calculate the radius of gyration and take their ratio. What is the moment of inertia of a solid sphere? I for solid sphere. 2 by 5 m r square, and I for hollow sphere 2 by 3 m r square. Now use this to find k solid by k hollow that you have to calculate. Moment of inertia of the solid sphere is 2 by 5 m square. Moment of inertia of the hollow sphere is 2/3 m square. Then using that formula for calculating the radius of gyration k, that is equal to root over of I by m. So calculate k for solid and hollow and then take the ratio. The answer will come root 3 is to root 5. The correct option is not in the 4 ABCD. This one Ks, if you put Is by m, it will be 2 by 5 m r square its root. So it is under root 2 by 5, m will cancel, r square will also cancel. So it will be 2 by 5 divided by 3 by 5. So 5 will cancel. So it will come. This will come 2 by 5 and 2 by 3. Sorry, 2 by 5 and another is 2 by 3. So this one will be 2 by 5 into 3 by 2. So this 2 will cancel. So it will be root 3 by root 5. The next question, question number 3, that is very easy. Two 3 microfarad capacitor connected in parallel. So their equivalent is 3 plus 3, that is 6. And then this 6 and another 3 connected in series. So their equivalent is again 2. Question number 4. Force is towards you. Question number 4's answer. Force is towards you. And answer is northeast. Force is towards you. How many have said? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Law of conservation of vacancies. So how to calculate this? Complete the diagram of vector diagram, then you and find out the direction of the force. Initially, the player is moving south, towards south, like this. Say V1. Then its velocity changes the direction towards east. V2. Okay. Now, right is V2. Now to find the change in velocity, we have to calculate the V2 minus V1. The change in velocity delta V means V2 minus V1. So for vector subtraction, normally what we did? So what is to be subtracted, that is reversed in the direction. So we will draw here another vector that will represent minus V1. Then simply using parallelogram law, we will add these two. So this one will represent delta V. We have done this one when we do the vector subtraction of Riemann problem and all these things. So the vector that is to be subtracted is reversed in direction and add with the first vector. So V2 plus minus V1. Okay, so that will give you a direction towards northeast. Now, you are asked to calculate the direction of the force, changing velocity. So if I find that the change in velocity in this direction, then I can also say that force will be mass into acceleration, that is the change in velocity. And mass, delta t, all these are scalars. So direction of force and direction of change in velocity are equal. Same, that is towards northeast. Changing velocity means, changing velocity's direction means the direction of acceleration. And direction of acceleration is the direction of force. Clear? Then question number 5. That is very easy. Next question, what is the answer? First line is given from the Gauss's law, and what is the right side of that Gauss's law? 0. 0 means net charge inside the closed surface will be 0. The number of field lines that comes out equal to the number of field lines that goes in. Number 2 is saying magnitude of the electric field over the surface is constant. Surface may be not be spherical and charge may not be at the center.
Then if the electric field is uniform, let's say?
Field is?
Uniform.
Field is uniform. In this case, although the surface field cannot be uniform, because different points can be at different distance. But the number of lines should be the same, that is coming out and going in. See, one thing I find that many of you are very shy. Know the answer correctly and do not want to tell the answer. If this problem persists with you for a long time, then what you will do? You become a doctor, patient comes to your dispensary for the checking, and you will say, okay, I am very shy today, I will not talk. I will not tell you what is the medicine. I will check and all these things, but we will not tell you the medicine. So question number 5, option 1 is correct. Means closed surface integral E dot ds equal to 0. So it says that the right side of the Gauss's law 0 means Q enclosed by that surface S will be 0. So that is possible only when inside charge enclosed will be 0. That means the number of field lines coming out and number of field lines going into that surface will be equal. Then next one, question number 6. Calculate. You can use the formula U potential energy equal to half kx square. What is the answer? 16. So just use this formula U equal to half kx square. Then first one is for stretching 2 centimeter, next one is for stretching by 8 centimeter. The potential energy that you have to calculate. So it will be U second 2 by U1, that is equal to x2 square by x1 square. Because half k will cancel. So x2 means 8, x1 means 2. So 8 square 64 by 4, that is 16. So the answer is 16U. Next one. Question number 7. Who can solve? What is the answer of the question number 7? This one should be plus 2 volt. Okay. Now, why I consider this one fine, this side is 0, this one 2. This one fine, 0, 2. This one is also 0, 2 I have written. Because in the problem it is said that no current passes through the galvanometer, and that can only happen if at the two end of the galvanometer potential remain same. So potential difference 0 means no current passes through the galvanometer. Clear? So now I can say that whatever the current that comes from here will entirely flow through this and will not go to that side. Okay? So you can completely remove this part from your calculation. Now, calculate from this. This difference of potential across this resistance is 10 minus 2. So 10 minus 2 is 8, and current flowing through that resistor is I. So 400 into I. So I can calculate I will be 1 by 50 ampere. Potential difference across this resistor. This is 10, this is 2. So high potential minus low potential difference is 8 volt. So 8 volt will be equal to 400 into same current passes through this. So 400 I. So I equal to 1 by 50 ampere. Okay. Now same current passes through this also, because no current goes to the galvanometer. So same current passes through this, and across this resistance, what is the potential difference? 2 minus 0. So we can write 2 volt equal to resistance R into current 1 by 50. So value of R will be 100 ohm. You can also use Kirchhoff's law, but without using Kirchhoff's law, you can also solve the problem. Because if you use Kirchhoff's law, then after all these things, you have to put the current through the galvanometer to be 0 and then solve long calculation is required. Question number 8. That is easy. Just tell me for which principle we will use to solve this. principle?
Self-induction.
Self-induction.
Mutual induction.
Mutual induction. Okay, fine, that is mutual induction. But what is the particular, using mutual induction, the voltage is induced in the secondary coil, fine. But which particular formula you require? That is, power in the secondary and power in the primary will be same. That is Is into Vs equal to Ip into Vp. Okay. So voltage and current due to induction between primary and secondary can change, but the power will not change. So using that conservation of power, we can solve this problem. Just simply write Is into Vs equal to Ip into Vp. Then you can put the three values and unknown value can be calculated. Ip you have to calculate. Is into Ip, that entire value is given already. 60. So 60 by 220. Ip you have to calculate Ip into Vp. Vp is 220. So Ip into 220 equal to Is into Vs. But Is into Vs means power in secondary. That is already given. 60. So 60 by 220 ampere. It will be nearly 0.27. Okay. Next. Question number 9. Yes, capacitor. Why? The answer is capacitor. Why cannot be other three? Capacitor store charge, but there is nothing to do with the storage of the charge.
It maintains the voltage.
It maintains the
Voltage.
What? How? What is capacitive reactance? What is capacitive reactance? Xc equal to 1 by omega c. So whenever AC component passes through this, there is a value of omega, so capacitor will offer some resistance. But when DC passes through the capacitance, its resistance will be infinite, so it will block the DC. So DC cannot pass. So in this way, the ripple component, because whenever we get the output of a rectifier, full wave rectifier, then it is like this. So with the DC, some AC component is mixed. So we have to filter that component. So whenever this output is passing through a capacitor, then AC can pass because it is offering low resistance to AC. But for DC, it will offer infinite resistance. Infinite resistance means DC cannot pass. So you have to prepare a bypass channel through which DC can be collected. DC will bypass and you will take that DC which is free from the rippled component. Rippled component is the unwanted AC component which is mixed with the DC component even after full wave rectifier. Correct? So for that, capacitor is to be used because it will block the DC and it will bypass AC, unwanted AC signal.
Why cannot be other options, sir?
Why cannot be other options? Because the center tap transformer will actually produce full wave rectifier. So that output is not smooth DC, that is mixed with the ripple component. Next one is PN junction diode. PN junction diode is already used, and even after getting PN junction, you will get ripple component, low resistance. what load resistance will do? Load resistance cannot block AC or DC. Because for AC and DC, load resistance is a passive element of the circuit and it will offer the same resistance in both the cases. So, but only capacitor has this tendency because of the 1 by omega C factor. Omega 0 for DC means infinite resistance. So DC cannot pass through the capacitor and you have to, and AC can pass. So in this way, capacitor will bypass the unwanted AC component and you can collect the DC component separately. Next one, question number 10, solve it. Solve, give me the answer. And if you are very fast, then you will be honored to solve the question in the board. Just simply use Snell's law. Sin I by sin R, that is sin theta C by sin 90 for calculation of the critical angle. That is equal to V1 by V2. V1 is the first medium. So for critical angle, first medium should be denser medium. So it is V denser by V rarer. Because when light comes from denser to rarer, then only critical angle will form. From rarer to denser, critical angle will not form. Okay. Now, in the V denser, it is given that 10x distance is covered in time t2. T2. And it is given that x distance is covered in time t1. So sin theta c will be 10 into t1 by t2. So theta c will be sin inverse of 10 t1 by t2. Okay. Because in the problem rarer medium is given first and then the denser medium is given second. But for the calculation of the critical angle, you have to consider denser medium is the first medium, rarer medium is the second medium. You can also convert it in terms of mu, but you can directly calculate from the speeds also. Resistance of a question number 11. Color code. But color code is not in the syllabus. Okay. Next one. Question number 12. Question number 12. Read the statements. Photovoltaic devices can convert optical radiation into electricity. That is correct. Zener diode is designed to operate under reverse bias in breakdown region. That is also correct. So option 1. Both statements are correct. Question number 13. Just take for a formula and then put the values. Energies, magnetic energy stored half Ni square. Just put the values and solve. Okay, next question, question number 14. The angular acceleration of a body moving along the circumference of a circle is. How to determine the direction of angular acceleration? This one. Perpendicular to the plane of rotation. That is along the axis of rotation. All the angular quantities are directed along the axis of rotation. Angular displacement, angular velocity, angular acceleration, all are like this and defined by right hand rule. So the correct option is along the axis of rotation. Now, remember that these are axial vectors. Those things, that is torque, that is angular velocity, angular acceleration, angular displacement, that you will encounter, angular momentum, all are axial vectors. Axial vector means their direction is along the axis. Don't think that this vector along the axis means something propagates along the axis like the velocity vector or force vector. Because velocity vector, force vector, these are called the polar vectors. They are directed to a point. And axial vectors are directed along the axis. Okay, whenever velocity vector is directed to x direction means something is propagating along x direction. But angular velocity directed along x direction means nothing is moving in the x direction, something is rotating in the yz plane. Okay. Next, question number 15. That is also easy. But how many of you do the mistake that I want to check? First you have to find the distance where the gravitational field is 0, and then at that distance you have to find the potential. Masses are separated by distance r. One mass is m, another mass is 9m. So I can consider that potential field will be 0 at this point close to mass small m. So its distance is x, then remaining distance is r minus x. So at this point both will produce the same field. So this field at this point will have a magnitude gm, g small m by x square. Its field at this point will be g into 9m by r minus x whole square. Okay, then this gm will cancel, and taking square root we can write 1 by x equal to 3 by r minus x. So 3x equal to r minus x. So we can write 4x equal to r, or x equal to r by 4. So x equal to r by 4 means r minus x will be 3r by 4. Then potential at this point due to both the masses that I have to calculate. So potential V at that point will be, for first mass it will be minus gm by x. X means r by 4. So 4 will be here. Then for the 9m mass it will be minus 9gm divided by 3r by 4. So 3r by 4 means it will be 36. R minus x will be 3 by 4, and there is already one 9 in the numerator, 9m. So 9 into 4, that is 36. So this one will cancel, 12. So this one will be minus 16 gm by r.
So you can explain again.
This part. What is that? Gm into 9m.
Yes, sir.
This second mass is 9m. G into 9m divided by that distance is r minus x. R minus x will be r minus r by 4, that is 3r by 4. So 3r by 4. So 1 4 will be in the numerator. 4 into 9, that is 36. I write directly.
Then the first one, sir.
For first one, it is g into m by r by 4. So 4 is in the numerator.
Okay.
Then question number 17. It is also very straightforward. Two equal distances are covered with speed v and 2v. Then you have to find the average speed. Use the formula 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. Because here distances are equal, not the time interval. So average speed will be 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. And it will be 4v by 3. Because if the time intervals are equal, average speed will be arithmetic mean, that is v1 plus v2 by 2. If the distances are equal, then it is harmonic mean, that is 2v1 v2 by v1 plus v2. Now v1 is v, v2 is 2v. Next question, question number 18. The amount of energy required to form soap bubble of radius 2 cm from a soap solution is nearly, where the surface tension is given. Surface tension can be defined by energy per unit area, and energy is equal amount, that is the that energy you have to calculate. Now energy is equal to surface tension into area, and for each soap bubble, what is the area? To form a soap bubble, a single soap bubble, what is the area? 2 into 4 pi r square, because soap solutions means when we form soap bubble, inside there is a free surface, outside there is a free surface. So 2 free surface area. So you have to multiply it with 2. If you just write 1, then it is not correct. If it is said that you have to form a water droplet or water bubble, water droplet, in that case you can simply multiply with 4 pi r square. No 2 is required. Because water droplet means inside completely water, only free surface exposed to air is 1. But soap bubble means inside air, outside air. So 2 free surfaces. So you have to multiply with 2. Okay, then all the quantities are given. Just be careful that radius is given in CGS. You have to convert it. The next one, question number 19. That is also very straightforward. Lambda minimum equal to HC by EV. So lambda minimum proportional to 1 by V. So for option 2 is correct. You can use this direct formula. Lambda minimum equal to HC by EV, where HC and E all are constants. So lambda minimum directly proportional to 1 by V. Next question. Is it out of syllabus or is it in the syllabus? Radioactivity. Halfway. Because in the 24 they have given one question of radioactivity. In the 23 there is radioactivity. You can use this formula directly to solve this problem, that R1 by R2 is equal to 2 to the power T1 by T2. And using that you can solve, or directly using n equal to n0 e to the power minus lambda T1. Anything, but I think radioactivity is not there. Not there, so better to avoid. In this syllabus there is no radioactivity. Question number 21. Error and maximum proportional percentage error. From which formula we should start? Density equal to mass by volume. Density can be defined as mass per unit volume. and for a wire volume is calculated as pi r square S. For a wire is like cylinder. Wire is like cylinder, so we consider length L and radius R. So volume is pi r square L. Okay. Now from this, just take logarithm on both sides. Then it will be log rho equal to log m minus log pi minus 2 log r minus log l. Okay. Now calculate total derivative on both sides. It will give you d rho by rho dm by m 2 dr by r. Don't write d pi by pi. L by L. Okay. This is constant, so its derivative 0. Now, this is the actual formula, but for the calculation of the maximum error proportion, these are the formula to calculate the maximum proportional error. We have to add all this. We have to change the sign for getting maximum proportional error. All quantities error should be added. Okay. Then if you multiply both sides with 100%, then it will be percentage error. Maximum percentage error. So that is required d rho by rho into 100%. And all the percentage errors are given. That is initial values are also given with mass, so that will be 0.002 by 0.4, 0.002 by 0.4, okay, into 100 plus, for the radius it will be 0.001 by 0.3, so 2 into 0.001 by 0.3 into 100 plus dl by L, that is 0.02 by 5 into 100, and then calculate the percentage error. After all this calculation, you will get 1.6. Question number 23.
22, sir.
22. Question number 22. Which formula should we use? Amplitude of the oscillating magnetic field that we have to calculate. Electric field magnitude given, speed of light given, and frequency of the electromagnetic wave given. B naught equal to E naught by C. Means amplitude of the magnetic field B naught equal to amplitude of the electric field E naught by C. Frequency is not required. Then E naught is given, speed is given, calculate E naught. Okay. So it will be 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 7 Tesla. Question number 23. Temperature of the gas is given minus 50 degrees Celsius. To what temperature the gas should be heated so that the RMS speed is increased by 3 times? RMS speed V proportional to root over of absolute temperature. V proportional to root T. From that you can find out V1 by V2 equal to root over of T1 by T2. But temperature should be in Kelvin. Then find T2. V1 and V2 will be 3 times V1. RMS speed of the gas molecule V is directly proportional to root over of absolute temperature. So from this we can write V1 by V2 equal to root over of T1 by T2. Then V1 is there, so you have to increase the speed thrice. So it will be 3 V1 and this is given. T1 is given. T1 is given minus 50 degrees Celsius. So you have to convert it into Kelvin. So minus 50 plus 273 by T2. So your answer will be in Kelvin and then convert to Celsius or Kelvin and check the correct option. Take a square of this and square on the both sides. Then it will be 1 by 9. That is equal to
It is said increased by 3 times, sir.
increased
By 3 times.
RMS speed is increased by 3 times. Means V1 plus 3 V1. 4 V1. That's it. 4. So it will be 1 by 16 and this one will be 3 and this is 22. 223 by T2. Then calculate T2. Increased, not increased 3 times, increased by 3 times. Then 24, an AC source is connected to a capacitor C due to decrease in operating frequency. Which one will change? Capacitive reactance, it is 1 by omega C. So if omega decreases, frequency will increase. So it is not correct. Displacement current. Displacement current is voltage by capacitive reactance. So it will be IT, that is equal to voltage V naught sine omega t divided by 1 by omega c. So this omega c will be multiplied here. So if you decrease omega, then displacement current will decrease. And other options 2 and 4 are also wrong, because 4 is saying capacitive reactance remain constant, that is not true, and 2 is saying displacement current increases, that is also not true, because displacement current is directly proportional to this omega. So omega decreases means displacement current will decrease. If the screen is moved away from the plane of the slits, angular separation of the fringes remain constant. Number 2 is if the monochromatic source is replaced by another monochromatic source of larger wavelength, angular separation of the fringe decreases. What is fringe width? Fringe width beta equal to lambda d by small d. So angular separation is nearly beta by capital D. Tan theta is almost equal to theta. So because d is very long, so it will be lambda by d. Now theta is related to this one. So even if you change d, capital D, that is screen is moving away, means d is increasing, but this lambda by d will remain constant. Lambda by d will not change. So lambda by d will not change means angular separation will remain same. So first option of statement 1 is correct. Now come to the statement 2. Now you can argue from this that beta by d is changing, so sir it is changing because beta is changing. Not only that, beta will also change, d will also change. So that change will be cancelled, and as a result, since lambda by d is constant, so beta remain constant. So even if you move the screen, angular separation between the fringes will not change. Option 2, if the monochromatic source is replaced by another monochromatic source, definitely there is a change. Lambda changes. Lambda changes means beta will change. So option 3 is correct. Next one, 26. In hydrogen spectrum, the shortest wavelength of the Balmer series is lambda, and the shortest wavelength in the bracket series is. Shortest wavelength comes when the transition is from infinity. Transition from infinity will give you the shortest. So for the Balmer series, 1 by lambda, this will be equal to Rydberg constant R into Z. Z square is for hydrogen, it is 1. So it will be Balmer series starts from 2. So it is 2 square minus 1 by infinity. So from this we can write 1 by lambda equal to R by 4. For bracket series, say 1 by lambda prime, that will be equal to R. Z is again 1 for hydrogen. Bracket series starts from Lyman, Balmer, then first gen fund bracket funds. So it will be 4. So it will be 1 by 4 square minus 1 by infinity. That will be 1 by lambda prime equal to R by 16. Now divide these two, then 1 by lambda divided by 1 by lambda prime, this will be R by 4 divided by R by 16. So lambda prime by lambda equal to 4, so it will be 4 lambda. For the three materials, work function is given, and incident frequency, incident light energy is 2.2 electron volt. It is only greater than 31. That is cesium. So for cesium, photoelectric emission will occur, because if the incident energy is less than the work function, then emission will not start. So for cesium it is 2.14, that is less than the incident light energy. Question number 28. The errors in the measurement which arise due to unpredictable fluctuations in temperature and voltage supply are, these are called random errors. Then 29. Simply use the formula Z equal to root over of R square plus XL minus XC whole square for LCR circuit. Oh, sorry, no, not this one. The frequency of the resonance 1 by 2 pi root LC. F equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC. Just use this. R is not at all required because resonance means omega L and omega C, 1 by omega C will be equal. So this is the resonance frequency formula, 1 by 2 pi root LC. Calculate. So already two options can be eliminated. Two options are radian per second, radian per second. Question number 30 is also very easy. Venturimeter works on what of this principle? One is also easy. Ratio of the frequency of the fundamental harmonic produced by open pipe and closed pipe. For open pipe it is V by 2L, for closed pipe it is V by 4L. So ratio is 2:1. So 30 and 31 are very easy. Calculate the 32. 30 is Bernoulli's principle, 31 is 2:1. 32. Calculate. See, dipole and the electric field are at an angle 30 degree. Dipole, that is dipole moment and electric field. So for the torque, calculation of the torque, you have to use the formula P cross E. That is PE sin theta. PE sin theta. P cross E. Because PE cos theta will give you the potential energy of the dipole. Now you can write P equal to Q into D, dipole length. Okay, so magnitude of the torque tau equal to PE sin theta. P can be written as QD, so QDE sin theta. So angle is given, field intensity E is given, dipole moment is given, torque is given, dipole length is given. You have to only calculate Q. Answer is in millicoulomb. So convert all the quantities in SI, calculate and find out the. Then next one, 33. The magnitude and direction of the current in the following circuit. That is very easy. Calculate the total resistance. Total resistance all are in series. So 2 plus 1 plus 7, that is 10. And net potential is 10 minus 5 because batteries are opposing each other. So 5 volt. So 5 by 10, that is 0.5 ampere. And direction is from high potential to low potential. That means from A to B through point E. A to B through point E, because 5 volt can be nullified by 10 volt and remaining 5 volt will be present, and this will send the current from A to B through point E. Okay. Now 34, that is also easy. The net flux through any closed, net magnetic flux through any closed surface, that is always 0. And why that is 0? Why that is 0?
Because the line, the flux entering is equal to the
Why?
flux.
Because magnetic monopole does not exist. So if you are taking the magnetic flux to a closed surface, then inside that surface either there will be no magnetic pole or at least a dipole. Dipole means north and south of equal pole strength but opposite direction, means from the north pole lines are coming out, at the south pole lines are going in. So net flux will be 0. It is the Gauss's law in magnetism. It shows that magnetic monopole does not exist. That is a projectile. H equal to u square sin square theta by 2g. Just calculate. Okay, next question. 36. Two thin lenses are of the same focal length but convex and other is concave. What is the focal length of the combination? 1 by f equal to f equivalent equal to 1 by f equivalent equal to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. But for the convex lens, focal length is positive, and for the concave lens, focal length is negative. So 1 by f minus 1 by f, that will be 0. So equivalent focal length will be infinity. 1 by f equivalent, that is equal to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2. But here f1 equal to plus f and f2 equal to minus f. So 1 by f equivalent will be 0. So f equivalent will be infinity. Next question. Simply use this formula. Z equal to root over of r square plus xl minus xc whole square. Or you can write also xc minus xl whole square, whatever. Now xl equal to omega L, xc equal to 1 by omega c. Calculate that and find the impedance. Careful with the units. Millihenry, microfarad, these are given. Convert properly, otherwise wrong answer will come. Frequency is given 50 Hertz. XL will be omega L. So omega is given 50 and F is given 50 by pi millihenry. Millihenry means 10 to the power minus 3 Henry. Okay. Oh, this is not 55. Omega L. Omega is 2 pi f. Omega is 2 pi f. F is given 50. So 2 pi into 50, then 50 pi by pi. Because that is given 50 Hz, it is not the value of omega, it is the value of f, natural frequency. So omega will be 2 pi into natural frequency. So 2 pi into 50 into L. L is 50 by pi into 10 to the power minus 3. Then the answer will be in ohm. This one will be in ohm. So this pi cancels and it will be 50 0 and then it will 3 0. So it will be 5 it is coming. Na? So it will be 5 ohm. Because 5000 into 10 to the power minus 3 will be, and it will become 5. Then similarly calculate XC, that is 1 by omega C. Omega means 2 pi into 50 into C is given 10 to the power 3 by pi. 10 to the power 3 by pi. Microfarad. Micro means 10 to the power minus 6 must be multiplied. Then the answer will be in ohm. Then pi cancels. It will be 100 into 10 to the power 3 means 10 to the power 5. 10 to the power 5 into 10 to the power minus 6 means 10 to the power minus 1. So it will be 10 ohm. And then calculate. Putting that Z equal to root over of R is 10 means 100 plus XL minus XC 100 to 5 square, that is 25. So 125 means 5 root 5. XL minus XC will be minus 5, minus 5 whole square will be plus 5, plus 25. Okay. Next one, 38. You have to use this formula. A equal to minus omega square x. We know this one. Okay. Now, omega can be written in terms of the time period, 2 pi by t. So it will be minus 4 pi square by t square. Now, at which time it is required? At small t equal to 2 seconds. And see in the graph at small t equal to 2 seconds, the displacement is equal to the amplitude, capital A. So amplitude capital A will be 1. Okay? It is given that 1 meter is the amplitude. So in place of x I write 1. And then what is the time period? Time period is 8 seconds. Full complete wave, 8 seconds. So in place of t, put 8. So it will be 8 square, means 64. So 4 by 64, that is minus pi square by 16. Meter per second square. So minus pi square by 16 meter per second square. That is the answer. For SHL, A equal to minus omega square x, and omega means 2 pi by t. So I substitute it there. It will be 4 pi square by t square. And at small t equal to 2 second means at that point the particle is at the maximum displacement position. So value of x at t equal to 2 will be 1 meter. So I put x equal to 1. That is the value of the amplitude. And then time period from the graph will be 8 seconds. Then question number 39. Just calculate individually the potential for both the charges and add. See, from the positive charge, P point is at a distance of 2 centimeter. And from the negative charge, P point is at a distance of 8 centimeter. Okay? So, net potential at point P. For the positive charge, it will be kq by r. Kq by r is 3 centimeter. Sorry, 2 centimeter. And for the negative charge, it is kq by 8. See, positive charge Q is at a distance of 2 centimeter from point P, and negative charge minus Q is at a distance of 8 centimeter from that point. So just calculate. So 1 by 2 minus 1 by 8. So it will be 3 by 8. By 8 qk. Option 1. A bullet from a gun is fired on a rectangular wooden block with velocity u. When the bullet travels 24 cm through the block along its length horizontally, velocity of the bullet becomes u by 3. Then it further penetrates into the block in the same direction before coming to rest exactly at the other end of the block. The total length of the block you have to find out. See, first one. Consider this is the length of the block. Bullet enters here with speed u. Its speed decreases here to u by 3. And further at this point its final velocity is 0. Let us consider this distance is x1. This distance is x2. I consider this distance x1, this distance x2. Later I will put the value at the final state, not now. Now, bullet is suffering a constant retardation. So first part I can write final velocity, that is u by 3 whole square. That is equal to how much? U by 3 whole square equal to u square minus 2a x1. Okay. Final velocity square equal to initial velocity square minus 2a x1 because of the retardation. Next, you can consider this distance, or you can directly consider the entire distance, whatever you wish. So from this, first we calculate, that is 2a x1, that is equal to u square minus u square by 9. So that is 8 u square by 9. This is my first equation. Okay. Next. For this part you can calculate, or you can calculate for the entire part. Both are possible. So I will calculate for the entire part. So it will be final velocity 0, initial velocity u square. The total length covered is 2a into x1 plus x2. You can also consider this part, no problem. I consider the entire part together. Then we can write 2a x1 plus x2, that is equal to u square. Equation 2. Now I want to divide these two equations. Right? So that is 2a x1 plus x2 divided by 2a x1, that is coming u square divided by 8 u square by 9. Right? I divide the second equation by the first equation. U square cancels, 2a cancels, 2a cancels. So you can write x1 plus x2 equal to 9 by 8 of x1. x1 is given how much? 24. So 9 by 8 into 24. x1 plus x2 is required actually. There is a total distance of the block. So that is 27 centimeters. You can separately also calculate this using this part, but in that case you have to calculate x1 plus x2 further, and if you consider the initial and final, then you can get the answer directly. Then question number 41. Consider 3 separate cases. Calculate these 3 separately. Individually calculate the focal length. For first one, 1 by f1, suppose it will be mu2 by mu1 minus 1. So that is, refractive index is given 1.6. So it will be 1.6 and it is coming from air. So it is 1.6 minus 1 into first surface infinity. Second surface focal length is 20 centimeters. That is 1 by 20. So for this 1 by f1 will become minus, this is 0.6 by 20. Okay, 0.6 by 20. Now for the second one, 1 by f2, suppose it is 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by 20 plus 1 by 20. So that is 0.5 into 2 by 20, and that is positive. For the third one, same. F3, 1 by F3, that is equal to minus 0.6 by 20 again. So total focal length f equal to addition of these three, that is minus 0.6 by 20 plus 0.5 into 2 by 20 plus minus 0.6 by 20 and calculate it. Two are plano-concave and one is convex. Their combination. So it is coming 1 by f equal to 20. This one is minus 0.6. This one is plus 1 minus 0.6. So 0.6 plus 0.6. That is coming 1.2. 1.2 plus 1. Similarly, I can convert this one into another NAND gate. Three NAND gates are required to prepare a OR gate. NAND to OR, 3 NAND gates are required. And not NAND to AND, 2 NAND gates are required. So from that I can find that if 3 gates are required, so it is definitely producing OR gate, because in the name of NAND, OR is not there. So to prepare it, 3 NAND gates are required. Similarly, if using NOR gate, you want to prepare AND gate, 3 NOR gates are required. So from that you can directly find that this one is a OR gate and find the correct truth table for it. Question number 43. Question number 43. That is a kinematics problem. Any of you know how to solve this one? Solve. You have 1 day time, solve this problem.